Welcome back. In this video, we're diving into how to use application.yml instead of application.properties for configuration in Spring Boot. YAML offers a more readable format, especially when dealing with nested properties, and it's becoming a popular choice in many Spring Boot projects. In the last two videos, we worked with properties in application.properties. Now, in this video, we'll move everything over to application.yml. YAML is great for handling complex properties because it uses indentation instead of dots to separate nested values. This structure makes your configurations cleaner and easier to read, especially when you have related properties. Let's go ahead and convert our existing properties to YAML format and see how it works. First, we'll create a new file called application.yml, or you can name it application.yml, whichever you prefer. Spring Boot supports both. Alright, let's make the magic happen. We're going to take everything from application.properties and move it to application.yml. It's not just a copy-paste job, we'll do it in a way that's neat and clean, leveraging the power of YAML for better readability. Let's get started and bring all those properties into a more structured format. Now, let's copy the spring.application.name property from the application.properties file and paste it into our application.yml file. Watch how I do it on the screen. We've pasted the first property, and as you can see, it didn't break at the dot. Let's fix this manually. We'll break at the dot and add a colon. Follow along as I do this on the screen to ensure the structure is correct. Let's now add the next property from our application.properties file into the application.yml file. Now, let's copy the next set of properties, server.servlet.contextPath and server.port. As you can see, both properties are now grouped under the same prefix, which makes it so much cleaner and easier to manage. In application.properties, they were scattered across different lines, but in application.yml, we can neatly group them together. This shows the power of YAML structure, making it much more readable and organized. Let's copy our custom.property.int. Now, let's do the same for custom.property.string and other custom properties. Now that we've copied all the properties to the application.yml file, let's go ahead and delete the application.properties file. We don't need it anymore since everything is in the application.yml now. Now, let's start the application. The application is up and running. Now, let's switch to Postman and test our endpoints to verify that everything is working as expected with the application.yml configuration. First, let's hit the custom/property/demo API. As you can see on my screen, we got the same response as before. Next, let's hit the Fruits API. As you can see on my screen, we successfully got the list of fruits in the response. Next, let's hit the Fruits 1 API, where we've used a custom separator. As you can see on my screen, it's also working perfectly. We've successfully moved our properties from application.properties to application.yml. Everything is functioning as expected. This just shows how flexible Spring Boot is when it comes to configuration files. Whether you prefer properties or YAML, it works seamlessly. In the next video, we're going to take things to the next level with configuration properties, a really cool and powerful feature in Spring Boot to bind complex properties with ease. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. Stay tuned, we've got tons of exciting content coming your way.